Evening peeps, good evening everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. I've just got back from Talk Sports, just coming up to 11 o'clock in the evening. I usually say good morning peeps. This certainly ain't a good morning video. I'm so busy tomorrow, so I thought, okay, let's do a video tonight that we can put out tomorrow just in case we haven't got any time to do it tomorrow. I put a video out earlier today, Car Diaries, go and check it out if you haven't already. And I spoke about sort of pushing through, perseverance, struggling with mental health, depression, etc. And a few of you reached out to me. It's always good when you guys reach out to me because it makes me feel that you are comfortable to reach out to me when it comes to these discussions. You guys know I'm very open in terms of my own struggles with mental health, depression, etc. and how I have to push through. And I have said that I do want to do something regarding sort of mental health, the struggles that everyone goes through. It's the top of my to-do list. It just needs to be right because it's such an important discussion that it can't just be something willy-nilly, right? It's something that I need to put a lot of thought into because it's an important subject as well. For those of you that have reached out to me, I will get back to you, I promise. It takes a lot, I think, to reach out to someone when you're going through stuff. So again, it means a lot that you have reached out to me. But yeah, I am definitely thinking of how to do something on a regular basis, whether that means partnering up with an organization or just doing it myself and just being frank and open and honest. But I do think some conversations require experts, if you like. Or maybe not. I don't know. But look, we'll do something. And look, feel free to reach out to me. Anyone going through absolutely anything. My email address is in the description below. Those of you that know that I do get back to you, please leave it in the comment section so people can be very confident I do get back to people. It does take a while sometimes just because I'm on the road, I'm busy, I'm doing a few things. But I will get back to you. I am working alongside a couple of people now who, when those emails drop in, they'll highlight them to me straight away and I will fucking make sure that I respond. All right, let's switch our attention to some boxing. Caleb Plant lost on the weekend. You know, a few people were saying this wasn't a surprise. For me, it was still a surprise. Like, I've always had Caleb as a very good 168-pound fighter who, if he takes on the elite of the division, will lose. But I didn't consider Armando, is it Resendez, an elite 168-pounder. So that makes me feel like Caleb slipped a little bit. He's been in some tough fights. So maybe they've caught up with him, maybe. Or maybe he's just a bit limited. Like, Caleb's the type of guy who's good at everything, but not elite at anything. That's just my take on it. I could be wrong. Someone could say, no, he's got good footwork. I just watch him and I'm like, okay, he's got a solid jab. He's got a solid right hand. He's got solid footwork. He's got a solid gas tank, but nothing's elite. And sometimes to get rid of the opponents, like we saw on the weekend, something needs to be elite. Like, sometimes punch power will get you through a situation like that. And he's got good punch power, but it's not elite punch power. So, yeah, I guess this now potentially ruins the Jamal Charow fight. I don't think, I've seen a few people tweet that you should have just gone straight to it. I don't think you could. Jamal Charow's done barely anything in 4 years. We needed to see how Jamal Charow was going to look. He looked good on the weekend. So now we know, but no one would have known that. We haven't seen Jamal Charow enough in the last 4 or 5 years. It's good to see Jamal Charow back. It's good to see him with a smile on his face. We just spoke about mental health. That's someone that's had his own issues in the last few years. So the best place for him is in the ring. And especially when he's winning and performing the way he did, he looked good. So again, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Do they still just go the Caleb Plant fight? Or do they figure another route out for Jamal Charow, who is a name? He's a name. He commands eyeballs. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with his brother, Jamal. Jamal was there on the weekend. And he's hinted that a return is coming. Jamal hasn't fought since, I'm going to say, was it September 2023? when he fought Canelo, he hasn't fought since then, which is crazy. Because look, even if you lose, and it was a bad defeat, and the moment got to him, I mean, there still was some amazing fights out there. Like, people were saying Jamel versus Terence. Like, that was a thing, right? And that just disappeared. I don't know if Jamel can make 154 pounds again. I mean, if he can, I know Oscar De La Hoya has spoken about a Virgil Ortiz fight. I feel like he might have outgrown that weight class, especially that he went to 168. He's probably walking around near 200 pounds. Like, these are big boys, you know. People always get surprised. Every time I say this, people are like, no. Don't be surprised at how big these fighters are. There was a picture doing the rounds recently of Devin Haney alongside Benavidez, and I think a lot of people are like, my God, Devin Haney looks massive. They're all massive. They're all massive and cut so much weight to make a weight class. Again, do not be surprised. Like Stephen Fulton, I think, showed a picture of his scales. I think he was in the 160s. Fulton. Don't be shocked about how much these guys weigh. What other fights were there on the weekend? Darius Fulgham lost to Bektamir Melikuziev. A good fight. Obviously, the late knockdown swung it to Melikuziev, but I think Melikuziev probably was going to nick the fight anyway. Darius Fulgham will come again. He's a good fighter. Melikuziev is a bit of a problem. I mean, he's strong. He can box. A lot of these Eastern Europeans are kind of built the way he's built, but really, they've got so much better footwork for how they look. Like, you look at Melikuziev, you think, okay, his footwork ain't going to be great. It's actually not that bad. Plus, he can box. Plus, he has some power, as we saw in that fight. So, yeah, a bit of an upset, I think. I think Golden Boy were very excited about Darius Fulgham, as was I. But he's young. It's only a defeat. Again, this isn't the Mayweather era. You don't have to go unbeaten. If you're fighting guys and, you know, prior to the fight, it's considered a 50-50 fight, someone's going to lose. So, yeah, rebuild and come again. Some sad news in the world of boxing. Mike McCallum has passed away, the body snatcher, one of the very greats. Incredible amateur record as well, Mike McCallum. A freeweight world champion. Lou DiBella says something interesting about him, I think the other day, and he mentioned that it's a shame that Mike just missed out on fighting the four kings of Duran, Hagler, Leonard and Hearns. And he did. Looking at his record, he just missed out. Like I think Lou DiBella said the biggest compliment he can give Mike McCallum is that he would have been the fifth king. And I think that's a big compliment because he would have caused all those guys problems. The body snatcher was, obviously a few fighters use that now. We're speaking about one fighter who calls himself the body snatcher as well in a minute, Dillian Whyte. But that's an incredible nickname. I mean, because you watch him, when he hit you to the body, done. It was a wrap. So yeah, it's sad that one of the greats passed away so young as well. 68 is young. But yeah, hopefully there's a few big boxing events coming up. Hopefully everyone can do what they do in the boxing world and pay their respects to the great Mike McCallum, who again has passed away at the age of 68. All right, let's talk about Dillian Whyte. Let me quickly see if an opponent has been named. I'm pretty sure an opponent has been named. Let's have a look. No. Wow. Okay. Unless BoxRec is far behind, we are filming this. It's coming up to Tuesday morning, really. But we're filming this, 6 days out from the event? And as it stands right now, Dillian Whyte, it's still TBA, which ain't good. It ain't good at all. Because, you know, my question is what's left with Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte's 37 now. He's been in some wars. Dillian Whyte, some wars. Jeez. I mean, you think of those two fights against Derek Chazora. You think of the knockout against Tyson Fury, the knockout against Povetkin. He's been in some tough fights. The Joseph Parker fight was physically demanding as well. Oscar Rivas. I mean, so what is left? What is left at 37? Because a lot of people are already talking about what next for Dillian Whyte after this opponent on Saturday. He's been rumored to have maybe been a name for Joseph Parker. I did a video the other day talking about him being a name and an option for Anthony Joshua. Just because of who he is, he's in the mix with those fights. It isn't because of what he's done recently. I mean, even Dillian Whyte would be honest about that, right? We haven't seen anything. We didn't see anything in the Christian Hamer fight. We certainly didn't see anything in the Ebenezer Tete fight. We would have seen something if he fought Joe Joyce, but that fight didn't happen. So, and now, again, with it being TBA and we are 5-6 days out, the opponent on the weekend isn't going to show us anything either. I mean, the pressure on Dillian Whyte now is quite big because if it is a nobody and if it is someone that's just, I don't know, coming off the couch or have, someone that's relatively unfit, Dillian Whyte's got to look fantastic. He's got to blow this guy out the ring. Honestly, he's got to destroy them. And again, we haven't really seen that recently with Dillian Whyte. So, but I like Dillian Whyte. I think he's exciting. I think he brings a certain energy to an event. But it needs to be more than that, right? You need to see it in the ring. I still think there could be one or two more good fights in there for Dillian, but there's a lot to prove. There's a lot to prove. Again, age isn't on his side. Wear and tear isn't on his side. Obviously, the last fight, I think it was a freak injury, but nonetheless, it was an injury. So the body's starting to kind of break down a little bit as well. At that age, training camps will have your body breaking down. He was out of the ring. Remember, he was supposed to fight AJ. He was out of the ring for a long time because of the drug issue. So there's been a lot of problems with Dillian Whyte in the last few years. So we'll see. We'll see. I think he's going to look good in the weekend because it's going to be a nobody opponent. But it's the fight after. It's that one. And I have a feeling, like Dillian Whyte at 37, there is no time to wait around, is there? So I have a feeling he's just going to go straight into a big one. I wouldn't mind seeing the Joseph Parker rematch. Obviously, you make Joseph Parker a heavy favourite, but there's a story there. You could sell it because, Dillian Whyte beat Joseph Parker. The AJ story will always be there, even though I think that's now becoming a bit flat because their fight was way back in 2016, nearly a decade ago. But those two always have their issues. For me, the most obvious fight, if he gets past this one, is Chazora. I mean, it's just there. It's just the most obvious in. Him versus Chazora, and win or lose, they both go off into the sunset. It's just the obvious and easiest in. I mean, they're friendly. I think a lot of people are like, oh, they're friends now. They're not friends now. They're friendly. But I'm telling you now, these two can turn just like that. I know both quite well. I've been around both for a long time. When it comes to them to having to get in the ring and smash each other to pieces, they will do it. And I think it's the perfect fight for both. I think AJ, I just can't, it's a difficult sell. Joseph Parker is by many people's rankings the third best heavyweight in the world. What are we doing? Joseph Parker wants a world title shot. The drop down to Dillian Whyte's a big one. So for me, he gets past Mr. TBA on the weekend, and then it should be a Derek Chazora fight. I don't know if it could do a stadium, but it doesn't need to. O2 Arena for that one would be fantastic. Their first fight was one of the best British heavyweight title fights I've ever experienced or seen in my life. It was just, oh my God. Honestly, probably the best British heavyweight title fight. Probably the best. Fraser Clark, Fabio Wardley was very, very good, but this one was just brutal. And the second fight weren't bad either. Obviously, Chazora got knocked out. I think it was in the 10th round. I still say if the referee didn't take a point away from Chazora went completely against his game plan when he got the point taken away from him because he knew he had to make up the round and he tried to rush in and got caught, and that was it. Dillian Whyte threw that left hook and it was brutal. Does he still have that punch? I don't know. All right. What else is there to quickly talk about? Josh Kelly versus Flavius Bia. When the hell is this fight? 1 second. Josh, is it this weekend? I know there's an event in Newcastle, isn't there? Man, Josh, I hope Josh doesn't turn into one of those, what could have been. He's getting very close to that, isn't he? Because he didn't look good against Ishmael Davis. Yeah, this fight is, the Utilita Arena Newcastle, Channel 5 event. Never heard of this Flavius Bia in my life. From Romania. Oh God. Hasn't done anything himself. Really hasn't fought anyone. Why is Josh fighting this level of opponent still? Like, when are we just going to go with Josh? Like the 154-pound division, is it a 154 fight? Doesn't say yet. The 154-pound division is so deep that we don't need to be fighting these type of guys. We don't need to be fighting these type of guys. It's a shame we didn't get to see him versus Liam Smith. That would have been a good fight. But yeah, I don't know what they do with Josh. Let's have a look. Menakuziev with that win is now the WBA number 1 at 168 pounds. Jamal Charow is WBA number 2. I wonder if we see that fight. I doubt it very much. Sebastian Fundora, I want to be fighter of the year, not fight of the year. He's got a bloody good chance of being fighter of the year because this guy is a problem. Honestly, he's a big issue. And I don't mean big issue because of his size. I mean just big issue because of how good he is. I think he's fantastic. Him and his sister. Honestly, the two most... You know, like I remember there was a picture circulating of Gennady Golovkin, and people used to say stuff like... And I think there was this other picture of like a bodybuilder, and someone was like, how do I explain to someone that doesn't know about fighting that guy on the left will kick the ass of that guy? And Fundora is a bit like that. They look so unassuming, but as soon as they get in the ring, it's like the red mist descends, and both of them are sensational. Obviously, Gabriela Fundora, undisputed. Sebastian Fundora, unified. I think he can go to 160. He says he comfortably makes 154 pounds. Get your ass to 160 and cause some problems there, and then eventually get to 168 because he's 6'5". Like put a bit of meat on that body and get up, my man. Final one. Jesse Bam Rodriguez wants to headline a pound for pound list. It's coming. Jesse, no one should have Jesse below 7. No one. I mean, I think. Let me quickly go through this in my head. So you got the usual 3, which needs to change, by the way. Inoue, Crawford, Usyk, in any order. That wasn't the order. Any order. Bivol. And then you could put Jesse Bam Rodriguez there. You could put Canelo there. But Turbiev shouldn't have dropped too far down. Nakatani needs to be up there. He needs to be discussed a bit more. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to have him worse than 7. So he's getting there. And he's got the frame to go through the weight classes to really make a run for that number 1 spot in a couple of years' time. He's going to have competition because there's some good kids that are still quite young that could be on that list as well. But Jesse Bam Rodriguez, I think, will eventually be right at the top of the tree. I think he is fucking incredible. I think he's sensational. Anyway, guys, girls, it's very late. I'm happy I did this video now. That means I'm free tomorrow. Peace.